Mr. Ong Ye Kung.
Since the launch of PayNow in July 2017 and PayNow Corporate in August 2018, take-up has been encouraging. There have been 2.8 million individual registrations for PayNow, of which 1.8 million are bank accounts linked to mobile phone numbers, and the remainder are linked to NRIC numbers. We estimate that more than 65% of Singaporeans aged between 20 to 75 years old have already registered for PayNow, and the numbers are still increasing. As for PayNow Corporate, over 115,000 unique entity numbers, or UENs, have been registered. This represents approximately half of the total number of UENs issued to active businesses. The numbers are also on an upward trend. And 2 years ago, when PayNow was launched, there were about 150,000 transactions totaling about $24 million in the first month of operations. In July this year, those volumes had increased to over 5 million transactions, with total values over $1 billion per month. Mr. Ang also asked about the adoption of QR code payments. QR codes are a low-cost, effective way for merchants to receive e-payments from their customers. In September 2018, we collaborated with the industry to launch SGQR, our national QR code that consolidated the various QRs of international and domestic payment schemes into a single unified interface. Excuse me. Since then, over 32,000 SGQR codes have been deployed across a range of merchants, including hawker centers, retail stores, F&B outlets, supermarkets, and healthcare outlets. This represents a penetration rate of about 20% of all retail acceptance points, so there's a lot more work to do. Specifically on hawker centers, Enterprise Singapore has collaborated with NETS to deploy a unified e-payment solution at small food businesses since December 2018. To date, SGQR labels and unified point-of-sale terminals have been deployed at over 500 stores spread across 10 hawker centers, 22 coffee shops, and 12 industrial canteens. E-payments usage at these stores is gradually increasing, and 4 out of 5 e-payment transactions are via SGQR. While the volume of e-payments is still low compared to cash, we expect it to grow. E-payments are convenient to use at hawker stores, and payment operators are looking into ways to make it even more convenient for hawkers. So let me take the opportunity to reiterate our approach to promoting e-payments in Singapore. We made a deliberate decision not to have one player dominate the landscape and roll out very quickly, but you end up dominating and monopolizing the landscape. Instead, we put in place the backbone infrastructure so that multiple providers can compete and innovate to increase consumer choice while encouraging interoperability. As a result, Singaporeans can now make e-payments in multiple ways, which are simple, swift, and secure. Singaporeans are making more contactless payments using credit and debit cards, such as Apple Pay and Google Pay. They can use QR payments via e-wallets and also use PayNow. As a result, the ratio of cash and cheque usage relative to e-payments has decreased significantly over time. So cheque volumes have been reducing by 8% per year over the last 3 years. And ATM cash withdrawals relative to card and fast payments have fallen from about 50% 3 years ago to 30% now. We will continue to enhance the e-payments infrastructure for Singaporeans from all walks to experience convenient and low-cost e-payments.
Mr. Ang.
Thank you, Speaker. Thank you, Minister, for the very comprehensive reply. We know that PayNow is more popular among the individual as compared to the corporates and companies, as well what was the figures given by the Minister. So will the Minister consider asking the banks to promote the PayNow corporate more before they start changing the charges for the checks? There's some local bank now charge 75 cents per check, right from the first check, instead of 330 checks previously. And this could be a bit premature because a lot of companies, like you say, half the companies still not using PayNow Corporate. Thank you.
PayNow Corporate, the take-up is not so bad. As I mentioned earlier, it's now half of the UENs, considering that it was launched only August 2018, a year ago. So I think the numbers take-up is fast, and you see a corresponding drop in use of checks. So I think I agree with the member that the MAS should encourage banks, and banks should also take the initiative to promote PayNow Corporate. But at the same time, we charge for the use of checks, and I think having this carrot and stick, push and pull approach, I think we'll continue to see higher take-up of PayNow Corporate.